Hey guys, it's me, Dax. Just coming to you, I guess now just over a week after attending Zach Even-Esh's Underground Strength Conference, which I went to in New Jersey, just outside of New York. Like I say, just over a week ago. And I've given it a good week or so just to really kind of inwardly digest what happened at the event, what my thoughts were about it, and just maybe kind of share a few little things with you that you may find of benefit. So instead of kind of pouring it all out in a single video, I'm going to basically use several videos to highlight my thinking around the event, and particularly around a handful of speakers that their messages just really resonated with me, and I think that you guys could really benefit from. One of the speakers was Elliot Hulse. Elliot Hulse, a really interesting guy. He put on an amazingly good presentation. I say presentation, it was part presentation and part outright extreme weirdness, but in a really bloody good way. And I think there are a couple of lessons to be learned from that. Now, the first part of Elliot's talk really resonated with me because he was talking shit. Okay, and what I mean by that he was talking shit, I mean he was literally talking shit. His presentation was talking about shit. It was talking about vomit. It was talking about kind of phallic symbolism and all kinds of stuff. And this was at a fitness-based conference, and something that was to do with finding our unique and original selves. So let me just kind of highlight a couple of points that Elliot made that, to be honest, I actually think were brilliant. I think were really good concepts. I've heard them in similar ways, but never quite as eloquently as the way Elliot put them. So I think you might be able to use these. First off, the idea of shit. Elliot spoke about this idea that people are always coming up to him saying, "Hey Elliot, I love your shit. I love your shit. Your shit is excellent." And we all kind of say that to each other. "Oh, you got to see this guy's shit. It's brilliant, right?" Just interesting reflection in that a lot of what we talk about shit, we kind of just generally mean stuff, right? Kind of, I love your stuff. I love the things that you're putting out at the moment. And yet, in many areas of life, we talk about shit as being negative. "Oh, that thing over there is shit, and this is shit, and this is shit." So kind of this weird paradox of loving someone's shit. And Elliot just told a really good story about it. And he spoke about shit being this idea that we take stuff into ourselves, right? Kind of, usually via our mouths, if we're talking about genuine and authentic shit. We take it in, we digest it, we churn it around a bit, and we put out at the other end, I guess if you want to put it that way, our unique product. Okay? Something that no one else on the planet could possibly create. Now, everyone can create their own shit, for sure, right? But given our unique biochemistry, given the way our metabolism works, given the way we break things down, what comes out at the other end is our unique shit. Okay, so stay with me, because this is pretty cool stuff. So the way Elliot was describing it was from this perspective of we are ingesting stuff all day, every day as we go through life. We're coming across new ideas, we're coming across new concepts, new experiences. And if we're doing things right, we have a tendency to internalize them, and then at the other end, kind of shit them out at the other end in terms of our own unique view of things, right? So hopefully we're not just kind of taking them in and just throwing them back out in exactly the same way we've learned. Okay, and again, keeping it nice and base and keeping it in really simple language. Elliot described that as vomiting, right? We always talk about like people, you just absorbs this stuff and just regurgitates it back at you. This is the equivalent of not really internalizing it. This is, you heard somebody say something and you just say it straight back without having made it yours. Okay, so look, I think you're getting the idea, right? Let's just kind of finish off this concept of shit with kind of another one of Elliot's kind of descriptions, and that was of being constipated. Okay, when basically you can't get your shit out, right? really basic again, but I just love it. why can't you get your shit out? You put too much stuff in, you've given yourself too many choices, too many options, and you don't really know how to internalize it, you don't really know how to digest it properly, and you don't really know what to say about it in order to make it yours and bring your shit to the world. Okay? So, look, and I mean, I guess you kind of had to be there, but first off, I found Elliot's presentation both unique, kind of very, very, very interesting, very thought-provoking, and very like, that's a really, really good way of putting it. In other words, kind of everyone, myself especially, was liking Elliot's shit. Okay, pretty cool. Right. The next thing that Elliot did, which I found really, really great, was quite simply, I don't know how to describe it. It was, I guess, kind of shamanistic. We essentially got up and did all kinds of weirdness to music, from shouting, screaming. People were actually crying at the event. Yeah, crying at an underground strength coach event. It was, to be honest, it was some of the most powerful stuff I'd ever seen in terms of self-expressionism. Now, what was really interesting, as part of this whole thing, we were told obviously not to get into a follower mindset. Most people, myself included, spent most of the time with our eyes closed while we were doing all the weird and wonderfulness. But every now and then, I guess from a, not because I was looking at ways to copy people, every now and then I opened my eyes because I wanted to see what was actually happening in the room. And invariably, those people with their eyes open who were spending a lot of time watching other people invariably started to copy, they started to posture, they started to act in the way that they thought they should act, or kind of be the way they thought they should be. And again, so that was another kind of interesting example. It's very, very difficult to truly be yourself, to truly get in touch with yourself and find out who you are without... it's very difficult to do that if you have to get your feedback from everybody else. If you decide that actually, if they're doing it, I'm doing it, that's okay. If you decide that, these guys over here that I hold in high esteem aren't doing it and they look a bit uncomfortable with it, therefore I don't want to look stupid, so I'm not going to do it. Okay? In other words, what I'm saying is very difficult to become your genuine, unique self if all you're going to do is go through life trying to emulate other people. Okay? Learn from them, learn everything you can from other people, but be your own genuine, unique self. And, be willing to put yourself out there, be willing to stretch a bit, be willing to be uncomfortable. Kind of the phrase that came up again and again and again during Zach's event was getting comfortable being uncomfortable. Okay? Weird paradox. Getting comfortable being uncomfortable. Actually being okay with not being okay, if you want to put it that way. Sometimes things aren't going to work out the way you want them. Sometimes you've got to stretch in a slightly different way than the way you've been used to stretching yourself. But just be okay with it. Just let yourself go. Be willing to look silly, feel silly, act silly. Be willing to make mistakes. Be willing to not be the capital T truth or the absolute version of right. So look, I mean, I guess that's my general mad rambling about Elliot's presentation at the Underground Strength Conference. I actually thought what he did was amazing. I thought he presented an extremely thought-provoking, dynamic, and potentially life-changing presentation for those who choose for it to be life-changing. So look, there's just a couple of thoughts for you, but I'll close out with kind of saying to you, go and make your shit. Go and create your genuine shit. You don't have to copy other people. You don't have to just vomit and regurgitate back what somebody else has said to you. Think for yourself. Okay, think for yourself. Go and make your shit. Thank you very much.